Good afternoon, everyone. Nice to see you. Others I know have been sending me messages that they will be watching the recording. Some of you on here have received a message from me about going back into home base. You'll see I've given you a response, okay? But despite everybody being very busy through the summer, I know that not everybody wants to follow up and ring those people, do they? They just don't want to make those calls. But can I just share with you before we get going on this? I have got some leftovers from the shows. And yesterday I made 4 calls and I actually did get 4 appointments. Okay, these are people that I said I would call and I did follow up. One lady has postponed me till the 1st of November, that's fine. But if you do not ring these people, they are not telepathic and they won't remember you because they probably haven't got your details. All right, so that's the first thing, is follow up on the work that you've done. Why? Because I'm going to bang the drum after Andrew, and that is next month, 3 weeks' time. I have been in this business 20 years. That's a long time. And I'm going to say this, I don't think there will ever be an opportunity like we have at this moment. I just don't think you realise how good it is, because there are over probably now 80 endorsements for UW. It's crazy. When I started, there were none. There was not a single endorsement. I remember the very first one that ever happened. It was with the Mail, and it was about that our pig made calls cheaper, and I just was so over the moon about it. We had no witch accolades, nothing. Okay. What have you got now? You've got the cheapest energy in the UK. That is nuts. That is absolutely crazy. So no matter who you see, you can go in confidently and say, we are the cheapest. Okay. The government have given everybody a £400 rebate spread over 6 months. Utility Warehouse has gone one better. And any new customer that's a homeowner is going to get a 25% uplift, another £100 on top. This is nuts. This is crazy stuff. They've only got to take one other service and they're getting the best deal that is possible. Why could you not feel confident? Oh my gosh. I mean, why could you not feel confident? All right. In addition, they can basically choose their discount by their everyday spending. Wow. So like us, we never pay for the phone, the broadband and the mobile just because of the everyday spending. How incredible is that? What an amazing thing to offer someone. Even better than that, you can show them how by doing a couple of hours a week, they could have another 1,400 quid, as Roderick Lance's background says. Another £1,400 a month from doing about 2 to 3 hours a week. That's a lot of money. There's nothing out there does that. Melanie that's on here, she's a clinical negligence solicitor. She assures me it's not the solicitors that earn all the money, it's the practice. They don't earn £250 to £300 an hour. You don't, do you, Mel? No. I came back from my Seville 500 plus club holiday and I had a couple of messages, and the very next day I went and saw a lady and she's just in Blandford, and she'd kept, this is where I'm getting to, I am getting there. She'd kept a little leaflet that I'd put out at Christmas last year. I fancy that. Could I come and see her? The time's right. I saved her on all her services. Broadband, the line rental, mobile, boiler cover, and gas and electric. Over the moon. really happy. And I thought to myself, I was moaning about going out doing that, although I did enjoy the walking, and thinking not much came from it. Well, actually, up till now, it's only been 3, but that made 4. Bit of exercise after dinner, put out a few flyers. So I thought, why don't I do something? And hey ho, this morning, head office has produced a brand new neighbourhood letter. Have you all seen it? Nod if you have. Shake your head if you haven't, because I'm going to share it anyway. And I thought, wow, that's good. So Lisa being Lisa and having a green moment, how much does your printer cartridges cost? Well, a black and white on my HP, I'm looking at about £32. That will do me about 1,000 sheets. Call it 1,000 letters. Okay, so you sign up one double gold homeowner and you're 250 quid up. I think that makes it dirt cheap. And today, it's been glorious. I thought to myself, get some calls done, get that stuff out of the way, and then go out. So this morning, I got the printer going. I've filled in my bits and bobs. I'm going to share it with you, what I did. Just bear with us while I find... Oh, no, I can't do that. Hang on. I've got to find where I go. Hang on. Share screen. Okay, so let's go to dashboard. Is it doing it? No. Oh, I'm on the dashboard. Silly me. I've got to go up. You see, you don't have to be bright to do this business. Is everybody seeing that bill busting £100? Yeah. So we click that, scroll down, guys. Lots of info. Can watch a little vid. Then, oh, that is coming soon. It is actually here. That's facts. Hang on. This is possibly. Let me go out. Let's do it again. Let's go back in. Because it is there, because I did it. Okay, the first one. Click. Down to the bottom. What do you mean coming soon? I've already done it. I've actually done this letter. Are they playing funnies on me? I honestly have printed it off. And I've got it. Let's go there. Let's go N. Neighbour letters. Well, guys, can you help me here? Because I printed it this morning.
Memory and everything.
I don't understand this. I thought I'll do it in front of everybody. Right, I did that. I went down. Perhaps find out more. I'm sure I went to the bottom. Okay. That's still Google Play. No, it's none of that. It was at the bottom. Want to share the good news. Facebook stories. Coming soon, but I had it. Okay. I'll tell you why I had it, because I've got it in here. Here we go.
Lisa, what was it entitled? What was the headline?
No, it's not that. Hang on. Must be that. Yeah, there it is. This is what I printed off. And obviously, what I've done is I've put my bits in there. But it's very simple. I don't like hello neighbour, I must confess. I'd much rather dear neighbour, but there you go. But they've done it on white because obviously otherwise we're going to use tons of ink. Okay. And it says UW offer the cheapest energy in the UK, always less than the government's energy's price guarantee, but there's more. Now, when you switch 2 or more of your energy, broadband, mobile or insurance to UW, you'll get a bill busting £100 boost. Switch all 4 services and you'll get £50 credit when you take a UW cashback card. Britain's best bundles just got a bill busting boost. Lovely, simple. Now, that I want to say to you is that's the letter. I tri-folded it so that the word cheapest energy showed when it goes through the door. So this morning I did 40. But I'm going to tell you what I've done. Now, I'm not saying this is the right way, but I have got 3 appointments. So I took a photograph of my diary, which I send out to new people anyway. So I knew what my movements were within my diary. And I went off with my letters and I decided to turn it into fun. And I went on my e-bike with my purple bag and my purple fleece. And I thought, yeah, let's go. And it was a glorious day. And I set out at about 12:30. So me being me, I'm thinking, I want to maximize this. I want to turn this into the friendliest thing out. So I did it differently. So with my little e-bike, off I go, cycle up the top of the hill where I live, get to the top, near the top. There's a great big house. Mr. Les Goddard lives there, self-made multi-millionaire, huge home. Haven't got to speak to him yet since we moved here 20 months ago. I thought, this is my opportunity, isn't it? Especially when he comes herring down the road in his Bentley and his son comes herring down the road in his Range Rover and then he knocks me off. So I cycle in and I ring the doorbell. And in fact, it was him. He came to the door and he looked at me and he went, "Can I help you?" I said, "You obviously don't recognize me." I said, "Because I'm dressed up like this on my bike." I said, "I live at the bottom of the hill where the red letterbox is. Hello." And I put my hand out and said, "My name's Lisa." I said, "We moved in about 20 months ago. I sell the eggs." He went, "Oh, hi." Yes, he said, "I buy some of your eggs." I thought, brilliant. Here we go. Talk about anything. I said, "Oh, lovely." I said, "Do you like them?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Do you really feed them all organic food?" I said, "Yes, I do." And we had a conversation. So then from my trusty little purple bag, I pulled out my letter and I said, "I'm handing you this. I didn't want to put it through the door, so it looked like a bit of rubbish for the recycling bin." I said, "I wanted to have a chat and say hello." I said, "Because you probably don't know what I do." I said, "I tend to do it part-time now." But I said, "The best thing you could do is offer your neighbours." And I said, 2 of the neighbours have already taken up with this. He said, "What is it?" I said, "Well, it's the simplest thing in the world." I said, it's Mr. Goddard, isn't it?" He said, "Oh no, call me Les." I said, "Les," I said, "I cannot make your electricity any better than it is." I said, "You're probably like me, off mains." He said, "Yeah." I said, "But what I can do is give you astonishing customer service, and now you can pay the cheapest for it." He said, "Really?" He said, "I'm in contract at the moment." I said, "Well done. When did you do that?" He said, "Oh, it's coming up." He said, "I think it's the end of November." I said, "Stay with it. Don't leave it till the end of November." I said, "However, now you've got my letter," I said, "I will follow up with you a couple of weeks before." I said, "It only takes 5 days to switch, because when you come out of that, there are no fixed rates available." I said, "And this company that I've been representing for 20 years, I said, it has the cheapest electric, and I'd love to give you it, like I've done for Barry and for Jill." And he knew exactly who I meant, because it's the big farmer and it's the £3 million house next door here. Okay. And he went, "That's very kind of you, Lisa." I said, "That's quite all right." I said, Les, I haven't got your number. Shall I take it? Now, some of you might have said, that's a bit forward, but I was being friendly. And he said, oh, yeah. He said, yeah. He said, they give me a call. He said, because I won't remember, as important as it is. He's in my phone. Would you say that was an appointment? First letter. Big house, big spends. I'm not going just for electric. When I go to see him, I'm going for everything. Okay. So then I get on my little bike and off I go again, further up the hill, slightly over. One of the other big houses, great big, massive doors, nothing but one of those letterboxes in the wall. So I stuck one in there. I thought, I'm not going to ring the doorbell, the big gates open and all that palaver. So that one I put in. Next one down, I met her at Christmas at a soiree. Her name is Renata. And she lives in a big house on that side as well. As I got to her drive, she came round the back and went, hello, Lisa. She remembered me. I said, God, you've got a good memory, Renata. She said, oh, wow, Jill's been telling me you've been doing good things for her. I said, well, blow me. That's what I've come to see you for. She said, why don't you come round back and join me in the sunshine? Now, you may not have the time to do this, but this is called rapport. And I spent half an hour with this lady. I've got an appointment with her on Friday. Would you say that this is more productive than ever sticking a flyer through a door, going off, and then having to go back again, knock the door and said, have you had a chance to read this? This is not being a horrible door knocker type person. This is me in my neighbourhood, genuinely with my neighbours, getting to know them, spending time and caring. So I've now only done 2 doors as such. One had to put it through, but now I've got one for the end of November and I've got one for Friday. And I'm over the moon because my inroads with the farmer and the lady next door was so worthwhile. And I've got a few in the village as well. So anyway, now I go to the bottom of the hill and now I'm going along and I'm knocking the doors and whoever's not in, I am putting my letter in. But if they're there, I'm standing back and saying, hello, I live, and I explain where I am. I'm having a chat and I'm saying, I didn't want to just stick this through the door because it would probably end up in your recycling bin, unread, which is such a pity because this is so relevant to everybody at the moment. What do you reckon about all the energy prices going up? There were all kinds of phrases I came out with various people just to get the conversation going. And not one of them was rude to me, not one. Every one of them thanked me for taking the time to bother to say hello and explain why I was handing them this letter. Because actually what I'm doing is I'm introducing myself properly, I'm being friendly, I'm caring, it's me in the neighbourhood. That's a genuine neighbourhood letter, isn't it? Okay. Now, there was one couple that I'll say to you, it was a mother and a daughter. They were out in the garden. They're on the main A350 in the village. And they are living opposite where a brand new building site is going up. So when I got to them and they were in the garden, I was so pleased because, to be honest, anybody that's out already, I'm talking to them. And as I walked up their drive, they both stopped. And I said, hello, lovely to meet you. And there was all this racket going on because they're building the foundations, you know, the diggers and everything. And I said, lovely to meet you. I said, I moved in to the village. Well, I said, we're just outside the village. I said, we're at Birch Close. Do you know down the hill at the bottom? And they went, oh, yeah. I said, we're the one with the red letterbox, sell the eggs. Oh, we had a nice little chit chat and I won't bore you with all that again. And then I said, but also I have for 20 years been offering the fantastic services of utility warehouse. They said, oh, we're with them. We've been with them for years. To which I said, fantastic. I said, was it possibly Winston Lease that introduced you? And they went, yeah, how do you know? And I just laughed. I said, no, I'm not telepathic, but I said Winston lives in village. And I've actually trained. Kev, can you go on silent if you're chatting? That's all right. I said I've trained Winston and I know Winston. He's a friend in the business. I said, lovely guy. I said, I'm sure he does you proud and comes back over and over again. And they said, oh, yes, he keeps in touch. I said, fantastic. Isn't it lovely having a representative local that you know with a business like this? And they went, yeah. I said, I know, it's wonderful. I said, you carry on making sure you keep in contact with Winston. I said, that's really important. And they said, oh, right. I said, but I'm going to carry on spreading the word. Because I said, excuse me, I said, I've moved to the village about 20 months ago. And I said, I really want to get to know people. To which the elderly lady, who I assume was the mum, she turned around, she said, have you joined the parish community? And I said, no, I haven't. And I keep saying I'm going to. I said, because Barry, who's become a utility warehouse customer, they went, oh, yeah, he heads it. I said, yeah, that's right. And they said, oh, has he become a utility warehouse customer? Yeah, I said, oh, I'm not sure if I'm meant to let on that. And they went, oh, he wouldn't mind. I said, no, I don't think he would. But what I was doing was kind of spreading the word that more and more people are moving over. Anyway, when the right moment came after a bit more of a chat, and I was with them a good 15 minutes, I said to them, you know, do make sure that you tell others and make sure that Winston knows about it so he can go and see them and give them this really good customer service. I said, and if you can't get hold of Winston anytime, I then gave them my card. I said, I'm available too. Now, I don't think that's unfair. I don't think that's unkind to Winston. It's just keeping the word going. I would prefer that they always went back to Winston because he signed them up. And that's the way it should be. And that's being ethical. Okay. But what's happening now, there was one other person that came. I got to the door and they were there. I chatted to them and they too were customers through Winston. And I thought, this is good because between us now, word is really going to get out. And I've decided that I'm going to go out at least 3 times a week. I'm going to put out around about 40 because you can do that in about an hour, hour and a half if you were just putting them through. By the way, our houses are quite far apart. Okay. If you live in a conurbation, you could even have gardens that are next to each other and you can walk over the gardens and deliver loads. But of course, it's different here in the countryside. A neighbour can literally be 1.5 miles away because that's our village. And we are classed as Charlton Marshall. So what I've done is I've given you a different perspective. Oh, I'll just tell you the third appointment. This wasn't a big house. This was along the main road in the village, and there are 6 cottages, all the same. Possibly 3 beds, I'd say. And it was the second row behind the first row. But as I got to the door opened. Have you ever done that? And I went, oh, gosh, you frightened me. And she opened the door. She said, oh, can I help you? I said, well, actually, I said, I'm hoping I can help you. It's fair enough, isn't it? And I explained who I was, where I live. I'm not going to bore you again with all of that. And I said, rather than just put these through the doors, I really like to say hello to people. I said, because I live here now. And I said, we intend to stay. I said, we've just got planning permission for an extension, and then we chatted about that. And I said, I think everyone's finding the pinch at the moment. I said, certainly with energy, you can't make it any better, but you can make it better priced and you can get better customer service. And I said, that's where someone like myself comes in. And then I explained a bit about myself, the company. And she said, oh, wonderful. I said, well, this letter is to show you. And I said, it's quite astonishing. The cheapest energy that you can get in the UK, bar none. I said, even Martin Lewis is saying it. And I said, come and join us before December. And I said, there's another £100. And I said, it's a 25% uplift on the government's £400 rebate, and you'll get it on the second bill. To which she said, really? Sounds too good to be true. I said, I know it does. I said, the only thing is, because I'm doing it every day and I've been with the company 20 years, I know it's real. And she went, yes, I'm sure it is. And she said, well, look, what do I do? I said, well, you can call me. I said, or if you want, I've got my phone right now. I said, do you want to book an appointment? She said, well, why don't we? And I've got that for next Monday. Monday at 9:30. So I went out for a good 2 hours because I spent half an hour with Renata. But I went out, I gave out 40 and I've got 3. I actually think that's really good odds. That is, it's nearly a 10% return immediately. Now, I don't know what will come from the ones that have gone through the door, but what I feel is I have made, this is the words I want to use, I've made an impression. I've built rapport with people. They know who I am. When they see me going around, although not for very long in my Mini, they'll know who it is. And that is what it's all about. It's about making friends, making acquaintances and turning acquaintances into friends and caring about folk. So, am I going back to follow up? Possibly, yes. I think I might. I might go back on the doors that I didn't obviously see somebody, knock the door and say, hold up one and say, did you get this? Did you have a chance to read it? That's what I believe the neighbourhood teams do, and they get great results from it. Just to say to you, there's a young partner that's joined. He lives up north in Newcastle. He's joined one of the West Country teams because it was a partner in the West Country that introduced him, but he's up north. And he's been doing the whole neighbourhood letter thing. And he's bringing in a minimum of 7 to 10 customers a week. That's quite something. Now, I've always been a little bit reticent about the whole neighbourhood letter thing, but I look at it this way. Do you know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. If you have, I'm not going to say courage, because I don't think I needed courage. I was genuinely saying hello to folk. And actually, when you are genuine, it doesn't become a hurdle. It doesn't become a sort of nervous thing. I've also now made some friends in the village that when they see me, they'll smile, and that's great. It's worth it. Do you know what? Free exercise, earn some money, enjoy the sunshine. Gosh, does it actually get any better? Oh, and do you know what the best bit is about these? They're local. You haven't got to travel miles, have you? How nice is that? Face-to-face appointments, and they will be. I doubt very much if you'll do them on Zoom when they're so local. So anybody want to ask any questions? Yes, Isabel.
It's, neighbourhood letters, one of the problems I've got, I live in an area of Glasgow which is mainly apartment blocks, and also a lot of them are rented out to students because it's very near Glasgow University. So the nearest place I would consider for neighbourhood letters are about, say, a 20-minute walk. So I feel a bit difficult
Still.
saying I'm a neighbour.
Well, I don't know, 20-minute walk, 20-minute walk is not that far, is it? I mean, it takes us 20 minutes to get in the village where all the houses are, because we are 1.5 miles before we get to the village. So I'd say you could still say that was a neighbourhood. I
Maybe I'm
wouldn't put
becoming too
that-
fixated on a narrow definition of neighbour, possibly. I'm just getting too fixated about
Right.
that.
If
Mhm.
you were travelling in your car 5 miles and putting out neighbour letters, I'd say that that was a fraud. Yeah,
Okay.
but if you're telling me you're going to get on foot and walk 20 minutes, no,
Right.
I would say that's fine, Isabel.
Right. So just
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah, absolutely. Anything else? Anybody want to ask anything? Yes, go on then.
Yeah, sorry, work delayed me yet again. But I'm very interested in you endorsing neighbourhood letters, because I know you've always been a bit hesitant about them in the past, you know, so yes, yeah, so good, yeah.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I do believe in never say never, because, you know, that we can all learn new things, can't we? Absolutely always learn new things. If ever I got to the point where it was a case of that I thought I knew it all, I'd say that I was doomed. And I saw something come in the chat. It doesn't need to be immediate neighbour, just helping people in my neighbourhood. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Chris, definitely that. So look, they are there. I promise you, as I wouldn't have been able to produce that. I don't know why I'm going back in and I can't find it, but they're there. There are other good letters there as well. It's just that I like that because it's short, sweet, and it's so relevant to what's happening at the moment. I feel we need to get, not just us, we need to really get our teams going out there, because even if they can't do knock the door, even if they put some stuff out, it's activity. And look, hear me out. Last Christmas, Juan and I went out after dinner a few times, and we went out and put out, I think it was, we were doing about 100 a night. Doesn't take that long. It was in the dark and it was very pretty, Christmas lights everywhere. And actually it was a great way to energize yourself after dinner. It was really quite a nice thing to do. And the funny thing is, I've had 3 customers come from that, but over a period of time. So nothing is lost. It just isn't. And I think it's name awareness too. It's a constant name awareness, because even if you put something through their door, even if they hold on to it. In fact, this lady had held on to it for, where are we? 10 months. 10 months she'd held on to it. That's quite interesting, isn't it? The longest one I've ever had was 7 years. Somebody kept my business card for 7 years. And then I went and signed them up for absolutely everything. And it was a referral. Nuts. Totally nuts. Okay. So guys, next week, same time, same place. I have done the passcode correct. If you have any special requests on subjects that you'd like, please drop me a private WhatsApp and let me know. All right, because I only want to give out what people really want. Okay, guys, nice to see you all. We better go because we're overrunning. Take care. Bye-bye.